The purpose of this series is to be a tool for you, undergraduate writing consultants, to assist your clients at various points in the writing process and with various common issues that we see in appointments. The first video in this series, which you're watching right now, will address how to get students started on various types of assignments and prompts. So welcome to Getting Started. This is all about helping your clients begin the writing process. So before we get started, we are going to be using this example prompt throughout this series. It goes, throughout our class, we have read several literary criticisms of The Hunger Games. Using one of these readings, as well as an outside sources, please answer the following questions in a five-page paper. How does the government in The Hunger Games compare to historical dictatorships? What tactics does President Snow use to control both the districts and the capital? What purpose do the actual games serve? So if you are watching this and you have no outside knowledge of the Hunger Games, no worries. We're just using this as an example prompt that I can base questions and sort of tips off of. So the importance of process-based writing really it comes down to the fact that college level writing is really difficult and it really demands a process-based approach. Students coming out of high school, especially freshmen, will be really tempted to just jump headfirst into every piece of writing that they do. And while this may seem like it will save time in the short term, in the long term, it will actually burn them out much quicker. Um, Freshmen may be really unsure and overwhelmed about how to get started. So for particularly for longer assignments like the one that our example prompt is, a five-page paper, students really should be encouraged by us to go through all of the steps of the writing process. This includes a pre-write and brainstorming, outlining, first drafts, revisions, and a final draft. Everyone's process will look different, but there are some things that we should definitely encourage and avoid within those processes. So brainstorming would be sort of the first step with a student, besides really understanding the prompt, which we will go into in the next video in this series. So one of the most important tools in your writing consultancy toolbox are questions. Clarifying questions are super, super important, especially in the brainstorming phase. If you're working with a student and you don't understand something they've said or written, ask these clarifying questions. For example, if they're brainstorming in a section in our example prompt about authority figures, questions may include, what are the peacekeepers' jobs and what does the name peacekeeper imply? Is that a realistic name for them? There's no such thing as a stupid question. If you're not understanding something, it's entirely possible that their reader won't understand it either. And basically what a question does is trick the brain, especially the student's brain, into doing a little bit more work. If you brainstorm in sentences or in statements, oftentimes you look at that on the page and you think, oh, it's done. I don't have to do anything more with this. So questions really keep that process moving forward. Think about strategies from your own writing process. This is super important as a consultant or as a tutor. This is where you're going to be drawing a lot of your own tips and tricks. Obviously, this may not work for somebody who thinks really differently than you or whose process looks very different than your own, but this is a really great first step for you. Another thing that's really important, especially with first appointments with first clients, is ending your appointments on a positive note. I really like to offer reassurance as the client leaves, saying things like, this is a great jumping off point, or we got the outline done today, this should help a lot. This kind of thing really ends this appointment on a positive note, gets them feeling hopeful, especially if they came in feeling overwhelmed. Another strategy I would highly recommend is always finish up by saying, is there anything else I can help you with while I have you here? Do you have any last questions? You don't want them leaving with lingering questions. And that's the end of our sort of getting started section of this video or of this series. So thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next one.